All right. What was that mood like at halftime, Jason? And how did that help you guys flip the game around in the second half?
Um, we really knew what we had to do. Coach Boals didn't come in yelling at us. Like we knew as a collective group we needed to do, and we came out with a lot of energy in the second half.
Did could you describe what kind of impact Miles Brown had today defensively? It seemed to be he was one of the guys that deflection steals got you guys going on the defensive end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was picking up full court every single possession, and he's always been like that. I'm glad you guys finally saw it, I guess. But yeah, he's doing that every day in practice, and he got game ball today.
We saw a lot of the underclassmen play today. We saw Towns, we saw Miles Brown, we saw Mason McMurray get a lot of play time today. Do you think this is going to really boost their confidence going into the rest of the schedule and kind of going forward, especially against like a team that was played on short notice?
Yeah, for sure. We're about to get in conference play pretty soon here, so we're gonna have to figure out a rotation soon. So for those young guys to come in, contribute quickly, that's big for their confidence.
What's it been like playing with Dwight? You guys have all of like 3 weeks together in games, and he's been pretty seamless in how he's fit in.
Yeah, he's great. He's great, and it's crazy because he can get a lot better. But he's great already right now, and I don't really play with a big that I can lob it up to, and he can finish like he did today.
Can you give us kind of a quick like rundown of like how this week went? Like you guys blew out Cleveland State on Sunday, and then Mississippi Valley got canceled, and then how long was it like before you guys knew that you were playing Purdue Northwest? Was it like when we found out Wednesday, or did you guys know like Monday or Tuesday, or like how did the week kind of play out for you guys?
I think on Tuesday it was maybe like they might come, and then it was confirmed on Wednesday, I believe. But I shouldn't change anything. I shouldn't change how we come out. Bulls always talk about mature teams, and we got to come out the same way against everybody.
Were you happy with how you guys started today?
No, it wasn't a good start. We'll correct that moving forward.
What would you say the biggest issue was from the start? What you guys were like 1 for 11 from the three in the first half, and was it just like you guys were sluggish? Were you guys tired? Like what was kind of going on in the first half for you guys?
We got some open looks and we missed threes, and we got to have the maturity to not let that affect us on the defense end. And I thought our ball pressure, wasn't really that good in the first half, but in the second half, it really intensified.
And Miles kind of leads the charge in that department, ball pressure.
For sure, Miles, Lundo. We can all do it once we're engaged.
Is there any more of a challenge kind of preparing for this game since Tuesday, given that it's finals week as well?
No, it's a basketball game. Our first 3 days of the season was back to back to back. So we got to be ready for whatever.
Hey, Jason, how did it feel like to be included on the uninterrupted social media feed this week? Just you reading a letter, but the platform that appeared on, what kind of impact does that have on a young man who I'm sure is familiar with Clutch and everything they're trying to do?
It's a blessing, and I'm honored they reached out to me to be able to share my story, and I'm just incredibly humbled to have the opportunity.
Hey, what did it feel like for you to kind of lead the charge in the second half, doing what you do? Defense, ball pressure, deflections, increasing the tempo. What did it feel like to kind of have your moment showcasing what you bring to the team today?
Well, we knew for this game we were going to have to create our own energy. It was a short turnaround from our previous game, and coming into this game, there's not a lot of fans, so we're going to have to generate our own energy. And me coming off the bench, that's what I kind of do on defense. I set the tone on defense coming in the game, and that's exactly what I did today.
You guys kind of came into the second half, like compared to the first half, you guys were wild. You guys were up on the bench like screaming. You guys had a lot more energy in the second half compared to the first half. What was going on in the locker room during halftime that kind of brought out that energy in you guys?
Actually, our locker room was kind of calm at the half. Actually, I thought going into the locker room it was going to be a lot of yelling or a lot of upbeat and intense, but we're kind of calm. We knew what we had to do going into the second half. We had to pressure the ball, box out, get rebounds. They were beating us on the rebound battle by 4 at halftime, so we tried to focus on those two areas, pressuring the ball, rebounding, and just play our game going into the second half.
Does it feel? Did this week feel a little bit like AAU summer ball? You know
Oh,
a game
yeah.
was coming, but you didn't know who or when or where exactly. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We found out that our last game got canceled, and then coach said, "Oh, we just scheduled a game today." So we're like, "Oh, shoot! So we have a game today? That's crazy." So we're all ready. We're all ready when our number's called. So it doesn't really matter when we're playing. Ohio's gonna be ready.
Would you say that having kind of like that game on short notice kind of helps you guys get better as a basketball team because it kind of like helps you with like the unpreparedness? You just got to go in and kind of play your best ball no matter what.
Oh yeah, during these times, these uncertain times, you just have to be ready for whatever, whenever. You never know when you're gonna have a game. You don't know when the games are gonna be canceled. So that just brings us together and helps us get ready for any turn of events that come upon us. So we're gonna be ready.
Miles, have you played 28 minutes in a game yet at Ohio? You had 28 today.
No, I think those are my career minutes. I just found that out from you.
Yeah. So, what does this represent? Another step forward, another jump in your development that you're able to go out there and bring that for 28 minutes, that defensive ball pressure that it is your game?
Yeah, I think this is a step forward for our whole team. We had our starting shooting guards, small forward out, and everybody just needed to step up today. And I just happened to step up, come in with a lot of energy off the bench, ball pressure, and just play my role, and we got the W.
You guys were down 4 at the half to a non-D1 opponent, and you said things were pretty calm at halftime. Is that a reflection of the head coach, the guys on the roster, or the way kind of that's Jason Preston's whole demeanor, right? Everyone kind of feeds off of him a little bit in that regard?
Yeah, everybody. We all just stayed poised. That was the first time we actually hit some adversity, so coach is just interested to see how we're going to respond. He always preaches E plus R equals O. Event plus the response equals the outcome. So the event was they went on a runs. They were scoring a lot. In the response, we came out there in the second half. We rebounded. We increased our ball pressure, and the outcome was our victory.
I think I'll start with a little, proud of our guys for overcoming some adversity. And, I thought we might be a little sluggish with finals going on. We tested this morning at 7:15 a.m. and, not your normal game day routine. We had a couple guys that had, final before shoot around. So was kind of expecting it. And, I think it's always good to face some adversity and see how you guys respond. And I thought the second half, Miles Brown, was probably the difference in the game from an energy standpoint, effort standpoint, and really turned the tide defensively. Thought it was a tale of two halves. I thought they dictated the first half, and I thought we dictated the second half.
We talked about this all last year too. The one way Miles was able to get on the floor early was because of his defense, and we're seeing him continue to add to that, at least early on this year, his ability to change games on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he and London are probably our two best on-ball defenders, and when you have both those guys out there together, you can give one a break, put the other one on the ball, and then kind of flip them. And, I think even this year, offensively, Miles is more comfortable. He's making more threes. He really works at it, tries to get 200 makes up a day before or after practice. And, he's put the time in. And, last year he started out injured and, played well for us down the stretch. And he's going to be a big part of our wins moving forward.
Miles talked a lot. Miles talked a lot.
You go.
All right. Miles talked a lot during his interview about, in the locker room during halftime, it was really calm, and he was expecting a lot of yelling and a lot of energy. And then he touched on how, like, you talk about E plus R equals O, event plus reactions equals outcome. So my question for you is, with, like, how calm he said it was, do you think that, keeping the guys calm and just keeping them focused is better to them than, hyping them up and, getting them excited to play going into like a halftime where they're down only a couple points?
Yeah, I'm not a big yeller or screamer. Maybe way back in the day, maybe, but I think with where we were, guys were frustrated. Dwight was frustrated. BVP was frustrated, and the shots weren't falling. And we got great looks. In the first half, we just didn't make them. I think we were 1 for 11 from 3. Those guys got looks inside, and I thought the biggest thing though was they did whatever they wanted to do offensively. And our ball pressure wasn't where it needed to be. Our rotations weren't where they needed to be. And the last 4 minutes of the first half and the start of the second half, really that's how we should have been playing the whole game.
You got any kind of update for us on Ben Roderick? You didn't play today, obviously.
Yeah, didn't play. Progressing, well. I don't think it's a serious injury, which is good. And I think it being December 10th, we're going to take it slow with him, make sure he's 100%. But he's been doing some workout stuff, nothing 5v5. But, hopefully we get him back soon.
Off that, what did you see out of Sam Towns today?
Yeah, I thought Sam, does some really good things. Right now defensively, he really helps us with his length. He can guard wings and contest shots and rebound the basketball. He's going to continue to get better and better with minutes and experience. And, obviously we stepped him in to replace Ben in the starting lineup. But, he's got to bring that energy and juice, when he comes off the bench to help the team.
It's been a crazy week in terms of losing a game for next week and then adding Purdue Northwestern. Could you kind of talk about how that process kind of worked out, getting them in here?
Yeah, it was it was really crazy. We were really not expecting to play. We had a Point Park team scheduled for Wednesday, and with everything changing from positivity rate state to state, we got to go through a process with Dr. Ice and Dr. Gaskell. And, I think where they were, the positivity rate was really high. It was a hot spot. So we canceled that game. And, we called, pretty much every Division I school geographic, within a 3-4 hour radius to try to get a game scheduled. And either somebody didn't want to play us or couldn't play us. And, we started looking at non-Division I's, and a lot of the GLIAC schools already test regularly. So that was a big thing for us. And, they couldn't make it down on Wednesday, and we was able to make it work on Thursday. And I thought it was going to be good to just get a game in this week, for the finals, kind of get that out of the system. It's tough practicing, a whole week and then playing one game, practice a whole week, play one game. And, we're in the same boat kind of next week with the cancellation of Mississippi Valley State as well. So we'll try to figure something out there, hopefully.
I was going to say you still have technically one more game you could add. So you're still trying to ID and possibly bring or travel somewhere next week.
Yeah, correct. And I thought our administration was awesome. Quick turnaround. I mean, there's a lot that goes into putting a game on, from staffing standpoint to facility standpoint, and our administration was really good flipping that thing quickly.
It's pretty amazing, Jeff. A player has 22 points, 11 assists, 5 steals, shoots 10 of 15 from the field. We haven't mentioned him yet, really. I know it doesn't get old watching Jason Preston play, but is his game at a level now where even days like today just kind of happen, and you take him for granted a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think hopefully we don't take him for granted. I wish we had fans here to see him, because he's going to be one of the all-time best to play here, and it's almost like he needs to play like that every game. Be aggressive, looking to score. He probably should have more assists, and I think we missed a lot of shots that he threw to other teammates. But he's a guy that what he's going to bring, and when you need a bucket, he's going to get a bucket. When he needs to get somebody going, he's going to get somebody going. And I thought he was phenomenal today.
Any early thoughts on Marshall? Again, this is a team, a program that for lack of a better phrase, is on your level when you look at the college basketball landscape? It'll be a true road game. They'll probably have some fans in the building. Is this a good test game, a good barometer game for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you separated by an hour and a half away, and I was down there for 4 years as an assistant coach. I know what the fan base is like, and Coach D'Antoni does a great job. They're undefeated, and it's a program where like they're gonna want to outscore you. So whoever can get defensive stops. Sometimes they're gonna play 5 guards and space you out, and all 5 of them will shoot threes. Their point guard, I love his game, Jared West. Just kind of a throwback, old school guy, controls the game. Senior or leadership, great in pick and rolls. They got Tavion Kinsey, wing from Columbus, who's a phenomenal player, and they got some really good pieces around him as well. So it'll be like a MAC, championship type of game. Like you're playing an upper tier, top of the league team, and it'll be a good game.
Did you recruit Tavion out of high school?
When I was at Ohio State, we were looking at him, and when I went to Stony Brook, I knew we couldn't get him, but I loved his upside. I thought he was going to continue to get better and better and better, and he has.
Anything on your mind?
I'm sorry, Jason.
So anything on your mind that you want to get out there?
No, just I think day by day. We try to get to breakfast every day, and our guys have been phenomenal. When you look at what these kids do on a daily basis to be able to play, it's not a normal routine. They've sacrificed a lot. From a social standpoint, family standpoint, and our guys have been awesome. And we really talk about trying to, preparing to, don't ever get tired of preparing to win. And, that more so now is not just hydration, sleep, film. It's washing your hands, wearing your mask, limit who you hang out with. So there's a lot that goes into it on a daily basis, and just really proud of our guys with having the maturity and discipline to, it feels like it's July 10th instead of December 10th. It's exhausting to do, but, I always tell them don't ever get tired of preparing to win. That's a big part of it.
Have you guys talked about how you're going to handle the holiday break yet? Typically, there's an NCAA mandated period where they're supposed to be off X days. Do you guys have plans for that segment coming up later this month?
We originally had a game scheduled the 21st against Rio Grande home, and the MAC came and changed that game, the Akron game, to the 21st. And then 3 days later, they changed the game to the 22nd.
Right.
And, our guys had flights out the 21st night, which I wasn't really, happy with. But so now we're at Akron instead of being at home. And, I want our guys to go home. I think it's important to be with the family on holidays. Some of them are going to stay here, just from a travel standpoint. You really will spend a whole day sometimes when you're flying to get back home. Our guys have been here since middle of June, early of July. And, I feel as a coach, like I want my guys to be with their family. I think it's good for morale. I think it's good for, energy. I think it's good to rest, get a home-cooked meal. And we had a parent Zoom meeting, a few weeks ago, and just really talked about the importance of, going home and still doing the same thing, social distancing, limit who you hang out with. You can't invite Uncle Joey, Tommy, and Billy over, cousins, aunts, uncles. And, it's, there's some trust involved. And, but I think it's important our guys spend some time with their families, the guys who can go home.